Hello and welcome to the Crag. On today's episode, it's currently winter and we are at one of Bulgaria's supreme sport climbing crags, Lakatnik. Lakatnik has over 490 routes with various styles and grades, from Fund 4 to 8C, so there's climbing for everybody. Due to the sheer scale of this place, we have 7 sectors, and in today's episode we're going to focus on one sector, Vragite Dupki.
Vragite Dupki?
That one. The Lakatnik has a very soft microclimate, which means that we can climb all year round. However, I do recommend coming here in the winter as this place can get very, very crowded. If you do climb in the summer, just watch out, it can be very, very hot. So definitely bring lots of water and stick to climbs in the shade. The rock here is limestone and it will dry very quickly after the rain. One thing to note though, in this sector in particular, this is the sector that takes the longest to dry after a heavy rain. To find these sectors, remember just follow the path, various signs and the cave markings to indicate what sector you're on. One thing to recommend when coming here is you need to bring at least a 50-meter rope and 15 quick draws. According to locals, the grades here are considered soft. However, even though they're considered soft, they're very, very hard to on-site. So don't worry if your ego takes a bit of a hit. And due to these grades being soft, they're definitely not a boat ladder, as in each of these climbs have their own beta, and the climbing here is very, very technical. The majority of these climbs are on slabs, which means you have to trust your feet. And because it's limestone, a lot of these routes can become very, very polished. And if you climbed here for a long day and your hands are very, very sore, we recommend Climb On, as it's the best moisturizer to fix your hands after a long day. To get here is very, very straightforward. It's only 60 kilometers away from the capital Sofia. You can come here either by train or you can drive. If you take the train, you arrive at the scenic Lakatnik train station. From the train station to the walk-in, it's only a 25-minute walk. Once you arrive here, it's very, very straightforward. There's a noticeable path. You're going to see a water tap, walk past the water tap, and you're going to walk straight forward. When you head straight forward, you can see 2 routes. Don't matter, both these routes will take you to the Crag. If you follow the right, it'll take you to Sector J. If you follow the track on the left, it'll take you directly in the middle of the Crag at Sector D. When coming to the Lakatnik, I would definitely recommend bringing your own food. There's a shop at the cut-off towards Vragite Dupki, however the shop is rather limited. If you're in the need for a beer after your climb, the best restaurant here is Vragite, and there's a canteen next to it if you want food. At this point in time of filming, we're currently in the middle of a pandemic, so these venues are closed. And again, if you're climbing during the pandemic, we highly recommend social distancing. Hopefully when the pandemic subsides, everyone can meet together, climb together and have some good food together. At the parking for the Crag, you'll find a water tap. This water tap is ideal for finding fresh water. If you want to stay in the Lakatnik, you have various options. First, there's no Airbnbs. You can camp at Alpine Valley, or you can even bivvy at Vragite Dupki. There's also a number of guest houses in this area. Alternatively, you can go to the Eagle's Nest, which is a hut which is located on the rock. And the only way you can access that is by rope. Lakatnik is a well-established climbing area in Bulgaria, so it's very important that we talk about climbing ethics. First things first, chalk here is allowed, however we do recommend you give it a quick clean after you use it. Making artificial holds is definitely a no-no. You're not allowed to add extra bolts to existing routes. However, you are allowed to use some cams or friends if you feel the need, but make sure that it doesn't damage the rock as you're using them. Another thing to mention is the caves in these sectors are full of bats, and we ask you to make sure that you keep your distance and you don't disturb them, as the bats here are very important for the local ecosystem. If you want to know more about the bats, you can see the contact below for Bat World, and if you do see a bat in need, you can contact them as well so you can help saving them. One tip from the Crag crew is that there is no toilet at the Crag. You can look at the caves and it might look very, very tempting, however it's definitely a no-go. What we do recommend is that you go to the bathroom before you come here, or you bring a shovel and some water. Or if you're feeling very exotic, you can bring a boob tube. One thing to watch out for in this crag is that there's numerous goats, so make sure that your belongings are kept away so the goats can't get to them. And also because of these goats, they do have a habit of walking at the top of the crag, which means that loose rock occasionally will fall down. This is why it's very important to wear a helmet while climbing here. If you're in the area and you're wondering what to do in your rest day, you have many options. You have cycling, you have hill walking, and you have rafting. If you check the description below, you can see more information on this. Other thing I would recommend seeing while you're here is a beautiful waterfall of Crag. And if it's cold enough, this will be ideal for ice climbing. And there's much more to see as well. Thank you very much for watching. Where would you like to go next? Remember to comment in the comment section below. Special thanks to our sponsors Alpi, Outsider, Singing Rock Climb On, and our video partner Magazine 360. Hope to see you in the next one.